I'm not a prophet of doom.
Je suis pas un prophète de perte.
But I will share with you what God revealed to me.
Je vais vous partager ce que Dieu m'a
And
révélé.
if possible, throw a little light. And He revealed to redeem.
Et il révèle souvent pour acheter.
I saw 3 dark clouds.
J'ai vu des nuages épais.
And these clouds were very mind-boggling clouds to me.
C'était vraiment épais.
And one rested on River State, one on Lagos, and the other one I cannot explain, but I saw it is one of the northern states.
Et j'ai vu que c'est dans la partie du nord. En
And I saw men
j'ai vu les hommes
very furious and
très
bitter.
furieux et amers.
And this looked to me like a mixture of generation of youth and elderly.
C'est comme un mélange
more of
de
the
jeunes et
youth.
des anciens, mais plus les
And
jeunes.
this cloud is not good.
Et ce nuage en effet n'est pas bon.
And the Lord began to say to me to
Le
warn
Seigneur m'a dit
the current government of the day
d'avertir le gouverneur
to pay attention
de prêter attention
to River State
à River State
and allow democracy to have its place.
et laisser la démocratie avoir sa place.
In life,
Dans la vie,
you win some battle,
tu gagnes certaines
you
batailles,
lose some battle.
tu perds d'autres.
His Excellency Governor of
Excellence,
FUBARA, that is in
gouverneur
River State.
Qui est à
Believe
River
me or
State,
you don't believe me,
crois-moi ou pas,
God has brought him to River State for such a time like that.
Dieu l'a amené à River State
Through the
pour un
act
temps
of
comme
man and through the divine act of God.
par l'homme et par la main divine de Dieu.
This little smoke that we see,
Cette petite fumée qu'on voit là,
if we don't allow it to go down,
si on ne laisse pas que ça s'éteint,
it might cost us a
ça
lot.
peut nous causer beaucoup
Especially
plus.
our great president, His Excellency, at the center.
Spécialement notre grand président au centre.
So that this little smoke
Cette petite fumée
should
là,
not be taken advantage of.
on peut profiter de cela.
These 3 clouds to
Ces
me,
3 nuages que je vois,
it looks like a boiling
semblent
one.
être comme quelque
It
chose qui se
looks
prépare,
dark
se bouillonne.
and it was boiling. And
se
it was
prépare.
like a ticking of an heartbeat.
C'était comme les
And the
battements
Lord
de
said
cœur.
to me,
Le Seigneur m'a dit,
It's a movement
c'est un
that
mouvement
if it comes,
que si ça vient et ça arrive,
it will be bad.
ça sera mauvais.
So that the government of the day news should not be brought to the ground.
Que le gouvernement
So that
ne soit pas mis à terre.
a government that is supposed to be leading should not be begging.
Il ne faut pas que le gouvernement qui est supposé diriger soit
I
en train de
repeat my
supplier.
statement.
Je
You can
répète ma
abuse me.
phrase.
Oh. Say, this prophet of doom has come.
Vous allez dire que oh, le prophète de Pète n'a encore arrivé. Non.
Leave the messenger. Take my message serious.
Prenez mon
So
message
that
au
the
sérieux.
government that
Mettez de côté le
is supposed
messager.
to be leading.
Que le gouvernement
should
qui
not
est
be
supposé diriger
These
sera
are
là
my
en train de supplier.
advice.
C'est un conseil.
Turn we have come to regarding the political crisis in River State. Like many of you, I have watched with concern the development with hope that the parties involved will allow good sense to prevail at the soonest. But all that hope borne out without any solution to the crisis. With the crisis persisting, there's no way democratic governance, which we all fought and worked for over the years, can thrive in a way that will redound to the benefit of the good people of the state. The state has been at a standstill since the crisis started, with the good people of the state not being able to have access to the dividend of democracy. Also, it is public knowledge that the governor of Rivers State, for unjustifiable reasons, demolished the House of Assembly of the state as far back as 13th December 2023, and as up till now, 14 months after, now rebuilt the same. I have made personal interventions between the contending parties for a peaceful resolution of this crisis, but my efforts have been largely ignored by the parties to the crisis. I'm also aware that many well-meaning Nigerians, leaders of thought, and patriotic groups have also intervened at various times with the best of intentions to resolve the matter, but all their efforts were also to no avail. Still, I thank them. on February 28, 2025, the Supreme Court, in a judgment in respect to all about 8 consolidated appeals concerning the political crisis in Rivers State, based on several grave unconstitutional acts and disregard of the rule of law that has been committed by the governor of Rivers State, as shown by the evidence before it, pronounced in very clear terms. And I quote, "A government cannot be said to exist without one of the 3 arms that make up of the government of a state under the 1999 Constitution as amended. In this case, the head of the executive arm of the government has chosen to collapse the legislature to enable him to govern without the legislature as a despot. As it is, there is no government in Rivers State," and I quote. The above pronouncement came after a catalog of judicial findings of constitutional breaches against Governor SIMI FUBARA. Going forward in their judgment, and having found and held that 27 members of the House who had allegedly deflected, and I quote, "are still valid members of Rivers State House of Assembly and cannot be prevented from participating in proceedings of that House by the 8th respondent, that is the governor, in cohort with 4 members," and unquote. The Supreme Court then made some orders to restore the state to immediate constitutional democracy. These orders include the immediate passing of an appropriation bill by the Rivers State House of Assembly, which up to now has not been facilitated. Some militants had threatened fire and brimstone against their perceived enemies of the governor, who has up to now not disowned them. Apart from that, both the House and the governor have not been able to work together. Both of them do not realize that they are in office to work together for the peace and good governance of the state. The latest security report made available to me show that between yesterday and today, there have been disturbing incidents of vandalization of pipelines by some militants without governor taking any action to curtail them. I have, of course, given stand order to the security agencies to ensure safety of lives of good people of Rivers State and the oil pipelines. With all this and many more, no good and responsible president will stand by and allow the grave situation to continue without taking remedial steps prescribed by the Constitution to address the situation in the state, which no doubt requires extraordinary measures to restore good governance, peace, order, and security. In these circumstances, having soberly reflected on and evaluated the political situation in Rivers State, and the governor and deputy governor of Rivers State, having failed to make a request to me as president to issue this proclamation as required by Section 305, Paragraph 5 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, it has become inevitably compelling for me to invoke the provision of the Section 305 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State with effect from today, 18th March, year 2025, and I so do. By this declaration, the governor of Rivers State, Mr. SIMI FUBARA, his deputy, Mrs. Ngozi Odu, and all elected members of the House of Assembly State are hereby suspended for an initial period of 6 months. In the meantime, I hereby nominate Vice Admiral Advocate Ibas, retired, as administrator to take charge of the affairs of the state and the interests of the good people of Rivers State. For the avoidance of doubt, this declaration does not affect the judicial arm of Rivers State, which shall continue to function in accordance with their constitutional mandate. The administrator will not make any new laws. He will, however, be free to formulate regulations and may be found necessary to do his job, but such regulations will need to be considered and approved by the Federal Executive Council and promoted by the President for the state. This declaration has been published in the Federal Gazette, a copy of which has been forwarded to the National Assembly in accordance with the Constitution. It is my fervent hope that this inevitable intervention will help to restore peace and order in Rivers State by awakening all the contenders to the constitutional imperatives, binding on all political players in the Rivers State in particular and Nigeria as a whole. Long live a united, peaceful, secured, and democratic Rivers State in particular, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a whole. God bless you all for listening.
Okay, you've heard from the president of Nigeria, and you also heard the prophecy of Prophet Iginla. He made that prophecy about 5 months or 6 months ago, so it's not something that he just cooked up and talking about. Although this crisis have been lingering for a while since Governor FUBARA was elected the governor of Rivers State. It has been one issue or the other with his predecessor, and we pray for peace in Rivers State. The truth is, no matter which person's camp you belong, if it becomes chaotic, you will be affected. And the truth is, it's going to affect a lot of youths and young people, because they are the ones that will be used as the tools. The children of the elites will not be involved in all this. So that is why we need to come together as believers to pray and do the right thing Of course, we know how it works, especially in this part of the world. When people do not keep aside their greed or their quest for power and control, we have issues like this, we have situations like this. You can actually walk away from things after spending your own tenure and let other people breathe, but it doesn't always work like that, especially in this part of the world. Of course, we are not politicians and this is not a political channel, but we just have to pray for peace and let the peace of the Lord that surpasseth all understanding rest upon the people of Rivers State and the leaders of Rivers State. And we need to come together and pray, because the state of emergency has been declared on the 18th, and today is the 19th of March, and we pray for peace. We pray that it does not go out of hand, because the government of the day has actually allowed a lot of shenanigans, and we're talking about from the top, allow a lot of people, a lot of display of of ammunitions and all that, and it is not a good one. And the truth is, Rivers State is a very, very volatile state. It's a very, very volatile state, and we pray that the crisis does not escalate. And of course, the military has been ordered to control and run the administration of the affairs of things. The state of emergency has been declared, but we still have our voices to pray. So let us begin to pray for Rivers State and pray that peace returns to the state. This is a Preacher's Portal. If you're new to this channel, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe.